officially asked for everyone's collaboration. Please be very welcome to the first cloud gaming meetup from Boosteroid here in São Paulo, which is online broadcast around the world. So this it's an opportunity and a pleasure to be here with you at this great event. Tonight, you are players, those of you who work with technology and partners of the entire industry. I am Tuco. Please be welcome to this great event. Now I want to ask you guys, where are the gamers in the crowd? Say me. I said everyone, not everyone here is a gamer yet. So you're going to be recruited. Where are the gamers in the crowd? Say me. Excellent. So if you're here with us in this great event, this is a special moment. We're going to share ideas, and we're also going to create connections and make use of the opportunity that Boosteroid is bringing to each one of us. And why São Paulo? Repeat with me. And why São Paulo? And why São Paulo? Exactly, because Brazil is one of the most passionate gaming markets, and that is the most growing in the world. Does that answer the question? Yes. This event has the objective of saying hello. Boosteroid is here in Brazil, and this is the opportunity for this community of players who are you, leaders in this important endeavor here for the future of gaming for us. So before we begin, I would like to make a few announcements. First announcement for you, it's important to remember that we have our photographer here. For those of you who anyone hasn't taken a picture yet, everyone took a picture? All right, so please remember to use hashtag Boosteroid Brazil. So for those who haven't posted yet, hashtag Boosteroid Brazil, use it, abuse it, tag us so we can share it as well and confirm that you guys participated in this moment in history. I would also like to introduce the Boosteroid team who's here with us. We have Vlad Osman. Please give him a warm welcome applause. We have Olya Podrezova. She's here. Also Max. Where are you, Max? I don't know where is Maxi. Maxi. Please, a big hand of applause to him. The objective tonight is to go up until 10 p.m. We have plenty of time. We're going to have a great conversation. For those who are online on Zoom, please stay tuned because we're taking up comments. If you have any questions and if you want to ask questions during the panel, leave us your question and then we'll go over your questions. You guys as well. When we have the panel, questions, we'll be able to interact with you during the panel so you can ask questions and get to know the Boosteroid team and make use of this opportunity that they're bringing to us. We have international guests, so let's take use of this moment to talk about translation. There are a lot of people here who are going to help us with the translation if necessary. The important here is that this is an important moment that Boosteroid is saying hello, we're here with you, so you can say the same. Is everyone prepared? Yes? Excellent, excellent. So, we're going to do the translation. We're going to have translation and we'll make best use of this tool that's transforming and will continue transforming Brazil and Latin America. All right, so I would like to do the roll call of our first speaker to open the event. He has a central event in building the presence of Boosteroid globally, especially now in Brazil. He's in the company since the first day, since the beginning. He leads development, he leads business, he deals with strategic partnerships around the world, and he's helped pave this important path in this international moment. So, and thanks to him, we are all here. So I would like to invite, so we can have his initial words. He's the corporate vice president of Boosteroid.
That's me, right?
Yes, that's you. Da Boosteroid, vai trazer as boas-vindas oficiais.
Please welcome. He's going to welcome each of you. Please give a warm welcome. Vlad Kosman.
Yeah, I'll grab one. 1, 2. Yeah. Hi guys, I will be speaking English. I landed just today in the morning, so I had no time to learn Portuguese. Sorry. I'll be speaking English, and yeah, like first and foremost, it's really, really great to see everyone here, the community, our customers, our partners, all the guests, everybody who's here. It's really great to see you. And you know, it's the first time we're having the Boosteroid Cloud Gaming Meetup, and it's the first time, and it's in Brazil, and that's for a reason. You know, today when I landed in Brazil, I had a very little and pleasant experience of crossing the border, and the officer checked my passport, and then he looked in my eyes, smiled, and said, "Welcome to Brazil." And this is something that officers do not really do very often. And like, I could really feel that, yeah, I'm in Brazil. And this is how Boosteroid feels, being in Brazil, providing our service to all of you guys. And Brazil is in our top 3 markets right now. It's very huge, and it's growing very fast. And we launched just even several months ago. So it's just the beginning of the journey. You know, gringos up there, they have 6 or now 8 data centers across the United States. In Brazil, we are only in São Paulo right now, but it's going to change very soon. We will open up more data centers, more capacity in existing data centers. And yeah, we really feel like we are together with all of you in this journey, right? We grow together, we learn together how to be better, how to, you know, run this business and run this service in a way that is the best and the most beneficial for you, and you get the level of cloud gaming that you really deserve. And yeah, once again, thank you very much for coming, and I hope we'll have a great time today. We'll have a panel discussion, very interesting questions, very interesting people and speakers. So yeah, other than that, I will also share a few updates, and we have the slides regarding those updates. Yeah, so as I've said, our journey in Brazil has just begun. It was planned very long time ago, and in 2022, when we kicked off Boosteroid in the United States, the next step was supposed to be Brazil, but then the war started in Ukraine, where the team is mostly based, so we had to kind of focus on core operations and postpone the expansion. And then in 2024, we kicked off very seriously, and then in 2025 we finally launched our first data center here in São Paulo. And yeah, this is just the beginning. What we will have next is the new architecture, new servers that we will bring already this year. And this is just, I mean, technical stuff. I don't really know it, but, you know. The next slide will show you why this matters. Yeah, this is the performance. So what we have today is virtually the best cloud gaming virtual machine on the market. We can stream up to 4K, we can stream up to 120 FPS and full HD, and it's going to be like over 30% better already this year when we deploy new configuration. And it's not only the new configuration, new servers, it's also more capacity. Because as some of you, I think you know, guys, that we had all these issues with the queues, right? Because you've been really amazing. And the number of customers joining was really, really huge. There was an influx of customers that led to those queues. we're fixing this already. We have servers deployed in São Paulo of additional capacity as I speak right now, and we will have even more soon. They're now on their way to Brazil, and yeah, let us look at the next slide. Yeah, so you can check that it's going to be better more than 20% pretty much with any game. We picked Indiana Jones Call of Duty Fortnite here, but it will be the case with all other games. This is just, to let you know what's coming up very soon. And yeah, what else do we have there? And this is the last thing before I wrap it up. This is the new functionality we just released, and it's called Boostcast, and it actually allows you to stream, to share your gameplay with everyone by just sending them a link. So you send the web link to somebody, and they can basically see what's happening when you play the game on Boosteroid. Sounds like Google Stadia, right? But the difference is that we made it. but it's been some sort of inspiration, of course. And yeah, so this is really great in terms of how people interact with each other while they are playing, how we engage with the community, right? And of course, next step is that you can not only watch how other people play, but somebody drops you a link and you can actually play with them, right? This is something, of course, we all have in mind and we'll implement when the time comes. But yeah, just a few updates, and I'll wrap it up. And thank you very much.
Bem claro, né? Que já viu diferença quando ele chegou no Brasil. Quando ele entregou o passaporte,
You saw a difference when he arrived in Brazil, when they saw his passport and everyone smiled at him. What does that mean? Brazilians are different, and we know that. He was planning to come much sooner, but now is the opportunity to bring more features and to say that you guys make a difference by participating in these improvements that they're implementing. And this is the time for us to enjoy their presence so that we can play even more and use these features and do what is needed in order to what I'm certain that all of you like to do. So to continue now, we're going to the discussion panel. I would like to make the initial invitation to our panelists and to thank Vlad for the opportunity to build upon this initiative of cloud gaming in Brazil. Everything that we're talking about here, the conversation is going to have us do something better, and it shows that it is proof of they're doing great things. So let's go to the first panel of discussion. Topic: cloud gaming for common big screens for common players. Now, cloud gaming is no longer something exclusive. It's present even in our pockets. So we invited everyone to talk about this here today. I would like to call upon the heavyweight hitters, the Mercedes-Benz in-car gaming technical product manager, Juliana Mandolesi.
Vamos estar recebendo aqui ele,
to welcome the account director at LG Channel, Renato Citelli.
Vamos receber também com a salva
Let's
de
welcome with a warm applause platform Director of Platform Services at Vida, Ricardo Bor. Please get over here.
E também vamos receber.
And also, let's welcome the Chief Operations Officer at Omelete Company, Otávio Juliato. All right.
E caso vocês vejam que temos
And in
5
case
pontos, nós
you see,
tivemos a
we have
Janaína, que é chefe de
5
conteúdo da LG,
pictures.
não conseguiu estar
Juliana
presente,
Tadeu,
então
which
a gente
is
vai
head of
continuar o
content at
bate-papo
LG,
com nossos
she
4
was unable to be here,
convidados.
so
Então,
we'll
mais uma vez,
continue the panel of our 4 guests. So
falando
once
um
again,
pouquinho da
the
importância
topic
dos cloud games em todas as
is
telas para o
the
jogador
importance
comum.
of
Sejam bem-vindos.
games in all
Inicialmente, quem
screens
vai
for
estar
common game for all
participando aqui
players.
com
So
a gente,
welcome, and also who's
serão
going
os
to participate with
bem-vindos.
us.
Obrigado, gente, por estarem aqui.
Please be very welcome. Thank you for being here and participating in this journey,
Aqui
in
da
this first
Boosteroid,
event
que com certeza
of
vai fazer
Boosteroid.
diferença
It certainly will make a
para
difference
todos, não só a América Latina,
for
mas
everyone, not
principalmente
just in Latin America, but
para o
also
Brasil.
to
Tá bom?
Brazil. All right?
Vlad, are you going to say some words as well? Yeah. So, pessoal, Vlad vai falar
All right, so
algumas palavras aqui pra gente.
Vlad
Mais
will
uma vez,
talk
pessoal,
a
seja
few
bem-vindo,
words
a
for
gente
us
possa
once
dar
again. So
continuidade aqui.
welcome, so we can continue the panel.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So before we kick off this, I'll send you. Before we kick off this first session of the panel discussion, I just wanted to introduce the topic and once again thank all our participants. And you are going to like the questions that we will discuss. Basically, cloud gaming has always been about eliminating barriers of how people play, where people play, what equipment do they need, right? And with cloud gaming, you don't need an expensive gaming rig. You don't need to stick to certain platforms, certain operating system. You can play wherever you want. And even in the car, that's why Julianne is here. And, and on TVs and everywhere. And this, of course, is still in progress. And at Boosteroid, we expect over 90% of customers to switch to cloud gaming in the early 30s. And this will impact everything, the community, the customers, how they engage with games, how they engage with platforms that they use, mobile, TV, desktop, and so on. That's why, we have this first session dedicated to this, and let's kick off.
Okay. Gente, primeiramente a gente vai fazer
All right, everyone. So first, we're going to ask 2 basic questions that I'm certain that you'd like to know. It's important to know, especially if you guys play, if you are gamers, if you play games. So it's a general question for each of you. How often do you play games, and what is your favorite game, if you have one? I play every weekend, League of Legends, and now I work with Boosteroid, so I also play on weekdays, but random games. So now the focus is a lot on Xbox for integration. So I've been playing a lot of Forza. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. She's a gamer. Everyone, I'm sorry to all the gamers here, but I think the last game I've played was River Raid on Atari. So I need to evolve a lot, and I hope to learn from you guys and others here. Great. I am a gamer. And I play when my 3-year-old daughter lets me play. So I'm trying to play Cyberpunk, which is a great game. It's hard to be able to have a few hours available, but it's a great game. And I'm trying. Maybe an hour a week. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Vlad, for the invitation and the initiative here. I'm a gamer as well. I don't play as often as I'd like. I've been trying to play monthly, and I'm playing action RPG game called Black Myth Wukong. It's hard. When people speak out like that, it means it's good. Do you guys have a favorite game? You talked about Atari, Star Fox. It's my childhood game. Mine was, I think, Golden Axe. Mine was Crash. I would play Crash every day, even weekends.
Excelente, gente. Ó, agora que a gente conheceu um pouquinho, né,
Excellent. Now that we know a little bit more about their habits regarding games, we're going to the questions related to our topic. The first question is for Janaína. It's from Janaína of LG.
Certo, certo. Ricardo, né? A pergunta dela? Ó,
It's
a
a question.
pergunta dela é exatamente
Her
essa.
question is exactly
Sempre
this one.
também vai eleger, ele entrega uma gama de entretenimento para as salas ao redor do mundo. E na visão de vocês, que
In your
tendências
vision, what
surgiram de
trends
conteúdos
are
de TVs
emerging
conectadas?
in terms
Como
of
vocês estão
connected
atualizando
televisions?
conteúdos interativos agora e também para o
And
futuro?
and how do you develop interactive games now and for the future? I think that's a great question. Like Vlad said, connected televisions nowadays they play a huge role for us to write history. In that point of view, we have the entire games part and the gaming portal of LG with several games, and we were able to closer to close a partnership with Microsoft so they can play through LG TVs without accessing the console, and and the sports and other channels and the LG channels available. We have several channels with free content available for users. So the TV becomes a great entertainment center and of consumption, not just of games, but of content, video, and so forth inside that scope.
Excelente. Lembrando, tá, gente, pessoal, no final do
Excellent. And
painel, vocês
keep
preparem
in mind
as
that
perguntas.
at the end of the panel, there are questions. If you have any questions that you want to ask them, send us the questions that we'll ask them. All right. So the next question is exactly like it's here. Juliana Mandolesi.
Juliana, você, ó, a Mercedes ela está ultrapassando os limites.
Mercedes is outgrowing the limits of in-car entertainment. Nowadays, you can do everything inside a car, and cars even drive themselves. So, what is the the role of cloud gaming in that vision? And what do you have in mind for a space to play inside the cars?
Pensando bem assim. Primeiro pensando bem no contexto automotivo, né?
Thinking about the automotive context, people spend more and more time inside the car. So if it's raining, how long do you spend in a car to get here? So for me to get here, I had the car. So I got here at 5 and I had to wait until 7 for the event to begin. So we have a lot of convenience with the car. So when we think about transit, traffic, it's a very negative experience. And Mercedes has as a general vision to be a very desirable car, to be the lifestyle that everyone wants. So if you ask someone, well, what is the lifestyle that you want? Well, I want to spend an hour and a half in traffic to get to work. That's not quite the case. It's to be something surprising. So with entertainment, we've come with the idea that you can do what you could in your living room. So within game, what is that vision of Mercedes? You don't want to play a game that's just for the car and it's just for that environment. No, you want to play what you're playing at home. So if you want to play Cyberpunk, should be able to play Cyberpunk in your car. So that's the idea that cloud gaming brings to us, which is great, because instead of adding some heavy hardware inside the car, it's there. We have video streaming, and you can play whatever you want. And that's what's great. And we learned what we learned in this journey is that it's not so simple in certain aspects. So there's the cars in moment, the movement, and the internet. How do we optimize that? Can the internet be good enough? And there's also the safety aspect that we were talking about. With airbag, what are you going to do while you're playing? And what if the airbag goes off? Is it going to be safe? Can we do it? Can we not? And now Mercedes is the first OEM that was able to authorize that with safety, so for you to play and use it with the car in motion. Did you guys know about that? Are you surprised? That's a surprise. Now I just got to get a Mercedes. That's a nice detail.
examina TVs globalmente, como vocês equilibram simplicidade e versatilidade no suporte cloud gaming?
How support cloud gaming, and what does the platform needs to have to help in the introduction to the cloud gaming? I think the name of the game is engagement. So we have a vision where the content is the main component and the experience of the connected TV, and that includes games. We're launching a Vida Play, which is our gamer environment that's coming. And so in that environment, you'll have an entire dedicated platform to games. You'll have the gaming platforms, you'll have the games, you'll have recommendations based on what you play, based on what you buy. So we bring gaming to the center of the connected television to bring exactly that engagement, to bring more users, for them to begin understanding the value that the TV has in that gaming environment, that you don't no longer need a console. You have everything there. You connect a controller or connect your phone, and you have access to a wide array of games in the middle of your living room. So for us, the games, it's in the middle of the strategy, is the center of the strategy at Vida in the next few years. Excellent, everyone. For those who don't like to leave your house and like to game, you'll have gaming.
Eu acho, a gente está agora, né, semana pré-Games com Latam, né, que acontece semana que vem, com a expectativa aí de receber aproximadamente.
We have the expectation of receiving several visitors who are coming over to celebrate games and gaming culture, the culture of gaming and being connected in a community. And there's a key word that I think they mentioned here. It's related to games, which is community. Community is the base of everything nowadays, not just for games, but other territories. So for those who remember and who keep up with the scenario of around the last 20 to 30 years, we began with culture and the uprising of the term nerd back then, and then the term geek, which is a more technological revolution. But what was always behind engagement was this possibility of you finding peers and feel like you belong to that, like you belong to that community, you belong to that place. And I think that now with all the cloud technologies and all that, it democratizes that even more. It removes a barrier that used to exist, which is sometimes it's hardware and some other things. And before, people who wanted to feel like they are part of that, they had difficulty entering that because they don't understand, they don't know that there's no money or so forth. But now they can have access to the content, they can be inspired by those stories, and they can tell other people, so they can share a little bit of that. And I think that in the end, it's something positive because it grants more access and it democratizes access for people to discover content, for them to discover entertainment. And certainly they'll discover other things in there as well, especially how to find a place to celebrate that with their peers. So I think our role as organizers was always to look at and try to create moments for people to celebrate together. And the gamer and geek communities were always an important part of that. You know, and nowadays saying you're a nerd is a good thing. Back in the days, you couldn't tell people you were a nerd. So it's a differential and it's something important for the community. Excellent. Juliana, you're up again. As the in-car gaming evolves, what opportunities are exploring to make gaming even more immersive and seamless inside a Mercedes? That's a good topic. People talk a lot about being in a gamer world. First of all, it's the sound system, which is already great in the car. So some of you have headphones or have a home theater sound system in your home to play with, but the car is isolated acoustically. It's closed. There's an entire sound system. The sound boxes are in the right position for that, and that's where it starts. You can start gaming in the car, and that acoustic isolation is great. People listen to podcasts inside their car or record it there. Yeah, you feel great. You're playing a racing game and you feel the engine of the game. You feel that emotion. When you're about to die in a game that, you know, your heart starts beating faster, you'll feel your heart at the same level of the game, just like that. And beyond all of that, we have other systems that are integrated with the sound system, which is the lighting and the seats. So the lighting, we have an LED system in the entire car, and the door is in the front. And some of them react with the sound. So if the sound is calmer, there will be less intensity. And as the game speeds up, and that changes and it becomes more intense or bright. And the seats as well, there is vibration. And depending on the game at the moment, so I don't know, maybe you're there playing Need for Speed, you're playing calmly, you're driving through Miami, but then you go to a police chase, and then it becomes more intense and more intense, and the entire car is motivating you to keep adrenaline, you know, at top levels. It's great. That's a great way to use sound systems in cars. Yeah, and we were in the European Gamescom, so in Germany. So if you're going there in August, you can go there and find us, and we can talk there as well. Great, thank you. Now, Renato, TV is now a console-free gaming rig. How cloud gaming impacts LG's roadmap for smart TV innovation and platform development? I was listening to Juliana's speech, and it's a good thing that we're going to need to start driving more. There's so many things happening already, but what was said, LG's platform today, it's confirmed, you no longer need to use a console, but rather the connected television. And I want to give you guys two updates. Today, with internal LG data, we see 50% consumed inside the television is already done inside the web OS, which is the LG operational system. So half of the time the gaming is already done in the connected TV and we should confirm that information as well with the operational system. So we had a very big shift in the standard of consumption. And today, connected televisions is an important part of people's homes. So gaming is everything that we know about, that we talked here, that it's a community and such. We have 16 million screens in Brazil. And also the gaming displays that was going to accelerate consumption increasingly more, and is going to increase the reaction of LG's platform focused in services rather than hardware. I think that's a big point. Excellent, thank you. Now let's go to Ricardo. Once again, how do you see the smart TV OS evolution as more advanced services like cloud gaming become mainstream? What's next for Vida? I think that it's a little bit of what I said. We're bringing Vida Play. So we see cloud gaming. Me personally, I see it as the next big thing of connected televisions. So I think that the trend is growth, exponential growth. So the more we can integrate these experiences with connected televisions, the faster that advancement will happen. So we see it. We want to deliver that content with the best way possible, in the way that's the fastest possible and more intuitively as possible, and work like that, not just with games, but also streaming content, linear channels. I call everything content. So we have that same bias for all the content. We want to deliver content in the best way possible for consumers, for end users. And like I said, me personally, I see cloud gaming as the next big thing of TV. So we're investing heavily to bring engagement and bring this very rich experience of cloud gaming inside your TV. All right. Now, the last question. There are several questions here to ask you. And for those who are online, if you guys have questions, send it to us and we'll ask them shortly. So, good afternoon. The younger generation of gamers have games as their favorite content. How will media adapt their strategies for that? So today we know that Gen Z and Alpha are I saw something that says that this audience, almost 90% of them prefer gamified experiences and immersive experiences. They're more tuned to that type of experience. I think it's a little bit of that outlook. We evolved from an event type that before were just aimed at a local experience towards an event model that is concerned about the entire journey, that cares about the experience is not just inside the event in a more in-person way. So we analyze KPI of events. We don't just look at the number of visitors. We're going to look at it as a great media project. So, and the differential is it materializes that experience. It bring something that might be hard to replicate elsewhere. And I think combining these two things is what's going to, it needs to be under the outlook of an event organizer. And I'll give you an example. Now we have a competitive stage of the MK11 Mortal Kombat, and now the championships happen in that event. So you might have a few hundred people there cheering for their competitors. For the first time in history, we'll have a championship of that type inside the Max, the streaming platform, and giving more access to the people who are there. So that combination of emotional connection that the event generates, that is very complex for you to replicate in other platforms, but with the reach of that matter of being able to bring that content to people, that makes it special. And obviously you can boost all of that together, and we try to include inside the events other types of on-topic experiences. Usually, what sort of experiences do gamers seek inside an event? Maybe, like Juliana was saying, when she starts describing all the sensations that the user inside the car that they can have, that are different than what they'd be able to have in the living room of their house. How do you think about that in a larger scale for an event, and how do you deliver that sort of experience? And these experiences, these physical experiences, they have that power. I have a 13-year-old son. It's been 13 years since I've been trying to convince him to cheer for my team. I'm not going to say the team here out loud, but, well, I just can't. For the first time, I took him to a game. After 13 years, I was able to take him to a match. What happened? So he started cheering for that team. So the emotional experience, it impacts you. And there's an American researcher that says that people will never forget of how you made them feel. So by feeling that, they'll remember that their entire lives. And the role of the event is a little bit of that, is to materialize some of the things that we see on screen, and we materialize that in person. And the combination of those things, that's a winning combination. It's really great. Excellent. Can you let us know the team? No, it's Corinthians. Corinthians is the team. Everyone is invited, so now we're going to open up to questions from the crowd. I want to know from everyone here, does anyone like to ask a question? Please raise your hand and we'll bring the microphone to you. So we'll start with those who are already close to make it easier. So tell us your name. Hello, my name is João Vitor. In general, what do you think that in a few years, cloud gamers is going to overcome the arena? Well, let me begin. I think that me, as a gamer, I think I have an interesting view about that. I have a certain limit at home. I have a gaming rig at home, so I think we're very close to that. very close. However, we start talking out loud 50, 90, more or less, it won't take long. I think the doors are opening towards that for us to have that experience of high-end PCs and really to be able to take the entire gaming experience to the cloud and for connected TVs as well. I think that's going to happen, but it depends on how we tackle that. I think that that's going to be very localized. So, for example, Brazil, where consoles are expensive in regards to your salary compared to your salary, I think will be one of the first countries in which cloud gaming is going to focus. You know, like other countries as well, like India, but other countries like United States, Germany, Korea, there is a lot of strong professional gaming. I think that's going to take longer, especially for those who really play professionally, for those who like it, and also depends on the gaming category. So if you look at an FPS, it's going to take much longer. But if you look at a racing game, that's going to be much faster. And if you have stable connectivity, even if you have lag, you're used to lag, and you just react a little before or so far, so you get used to it, and it's automatic. So that would be my vision. I think just to complement, there's a lot of issues of infrastructure. We talk about online video, which is something that is already old. Everyone consumes it through their mobile and so forth. We talking about São Paulo, but in Brazil, in other areas, there's other realities that are not so evolved. So there is an acceleration. There could be an acceleration of that process. Just to give my thoughts, you all spoke very well. I think that the trend it's a positive curve towards that. I think the adoption will change because there are economic issues and all the other things that we talked about, the type of game, and I think adoption is different for each country. And something worth saying is the experience. If you get the adoption of wide scale streaming, they created the experience. It might be being valued by another type of crowd. When we talk about technologies, but there's also the matter of experience. Maybe the PC gamer wants to be ahead of the structure, and there is that feeling behind that. That's part of the experience as well. Maybe the adoption for that group will be different than the adoption by other groups who have more convenience to play and have more options. But I believe, but I believe yes. Good evening. My name is Paulo. I am a game developer and I have a studio here in São Paulo. My question is for Renato. I would like to know if there is something directly there's a direct path for developers to place their games in the LG store or not, or how can I place my game there for people to consume through cloud gaming, if there's a direct path for that. The second part of the question would be, is there any sort of strategy to diversify the products that are displayed other than the AAA games that we know there's a big audience, but will there be a space for developers to look at that platform as a potential option for being discovered and for their games to reach out to more players? That's an excellent question. And let me see if I can at least get to sort of the border of it. I think the development when you talk about port games inside the LG gaming portal, there's a way that is being done nowadays, which is new. It depends on the research and development to see about the porting of these games. So in the LG App Store, usually we have more than 2,000 apps. It's huge, and that's all managed by a central. So there's a part of evaluation of that app or that game that takes months of work to approve and to make it work inside the OS, because it's usually a closed environment. You're not talking about an open environment. I think that the, the great thing about your question is, in a close future, this should evolve towards other ways to open up the system. There, the operational system, which is proprietary, like Vida, like just like Tizen from Samsung, they're not open systems in terms of development. So it takes a little longer to get there, but I think that the path in the future needs to be that one. We need to democratize the entrance of new players. I don't know if any one of you others have anything to add. I think it's exactly like that. They're complex developments, and they require a lot of infrastructure from the game developer, because for them to add the game to the platform, there's the entire integration, there's the evaluation of the game and so forth, which is something that could begin happening in the future. It's hard to say. It's hard to have a standalone game from a developer inside the platform like that, but I think it could happen in the future. I think it's a path that really could become reality. Excellent, everyone. So we're going to continue. If anyone has any more questions, they'll be here available during the dinner for you to ask them things and answer your questions. So, and to network and talk to them. So once again, a round of applause. Thanks, everyone. Can leave the microphone here. So for those of you who haven't gotten the salad and all the food outside, feel free to go there. There's meat as well. Feel free to go out and get whatever you'd like to eat. People are curious about the car, about the opportunities that are emerging. So we'll have here in the second panel about the outlook of gaming in the cloud. So thanks to all the panelists and everyone who participated with us to bring that information. Our next panel has the topic of boosting cloud gaming to a scalable structure and smarter partnerships. So what happens behind gaming, and more about the infrastructure, and also necessary partnerships to have fast and trustable experiences. So to continue with our next panel, we'd like to bring up the participants. He's the head of marketing at Latitude.sh, Victor Chia. Oh, it's you. Nice to meet you. Please, a round of applause to Victor. It's great to be here, be able to eat and interact, but please participate with us here as well, because the information that we get from each of you will make a difference. So, Vito, we also have Finks Lee, director of and director at ASUS. So please give Sphinx a round of applause. And he's corporate vice president at Boosteroid, Vlad Kozman. So please give him a round of applause. And so our topic, boosting cloud gaming for scalable infrastructure and smarter partnerships. Welcome. Vlad will be one of our panelists now. He won't just give us a lecture, he's going to participate in this conversation with us. So, welcome to everyone. We have the first question. First question is for Victor. Welcome, Victor. As a cloud infrastructure provider, how are you approaching the demands of online latency-sensitive services like cloud gaming? What's different about building for this space versus traditional cloud workloads? First of all, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Is everyone looking at me? Please pay attention to me. Go ahead. Who can hear me, say me. All right, great. So here, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. Talking specifically about your question, when we talk about traditional computing, there's the traditional scalability. You get an app that requires a lot from the server. There are millions of people who are accessing, so it needs to be scalable to make the experience good for everyone. In cloud gaming, that also happens, but it's not the main thing. The machine processors and there's also the servers need to be connected with a good cloud network infrastructure. So it's like in our house, our devices are connected to our provider. The same thing is happening at the server with the cables connected. If the server is not so good, the experience is compromised. So it's important to have new chips computational wise and also network availability. Excellent, thank you. Now, Sphinx, questions for you. ASUS operates across multiple layers in the gaming stack, from consumer devices to servers and connectivity solutions. What role does cloud gaming play here? Thank you for this great opportunity. Cloud gaming
uma forma como buscar várias dispositivos como notebook gamer ou PC gamer, que até as soluções de conectividade e servidores.
To connectivity and servers. So, Boosteroid to collaborate with ASUS in terms of servers that are more advanced to ensure the experience for gamers with a low latency and to be able to offer high gaming quality, the images and the graphics. So these servers are capable of handling streaming for the games and to provide great quality. And and so that the game can support the resolution. So with all of that, I think we're able to offer access to game with great quality for them to play. Excellent. Your Portuguese is great. She was able to speak Portuguese with us, so thank you. Now, Vlad, this is being translated to him, the questions. So, what is the proper way to address cloud gaming infrastructure deployments across huge countries like Brazil?
There was a little delay. I was listening to the translation. So Brazil is a very huge country. It's like the entire continent, right? And we have some experience of deploying in large countries like the United States. Probably that's it. And Brazil, of course, requires multiple points of presence. That's what we're working on, and that's what we will deploy already this year. And going to 2026, we will have more points of presence. So the key thing is latency, right? So you need to be close to the end customer, close to each and every one of you, regardless of where you are. And this depends on kind of the networking landscape, how internet service providers are interconnected, many things like that. That's why that's a very big part of what we do with our data center partner, right? To make sure that we have great connectivity, make sure we have the very close path to each and every customer. I guess that's pretty much it. You need to mind latency in the big country. You need several points of presence, and of course, like operationally, logistically, it's a little bit more complicated, but it's definitely worth it because as I've mentioned before, Brazil is in the top 3 markets for us, so we're definitely going to expand and bring more servers, open up more data centers, and stay tuned.
Excelente, gente. Vocês perceberam, né? A gente sabe, o Brasil é um país gigante. Todo mundo vem para cá sabe que
Brazil is a huge country, so people know that there needs to be work on that, and they're working to be closer to the end clients, to be able to reach the 27 states, to cover all the distances between several cities. The distance is very big, so working on that infrastructure is a little bit it takes a lot of effort. So they're doing that to be closer to us, and so you can all access an even better service. All right, so our next question is for Victor once again. Victor, how do you test infrastructure for gaming specific workloads, and what makes that testing different from enterprise applications? Talking specifically about games, I think it's one of the things that are more important for gamers. You just mentioned that you need to be physically close to people. It's not just the physical aspect, but the way that we're present physically. We are here at the restaurant, and we're physically close to the airport. If we need, it doesn't matter if I'm close. If I don't have a road to get there, the road to go to the airport, there might be a huge roundabout. So it's the same thing. If it's not a matter of just having connected servers and physical connection, but the environment for us to be able to connect connect in ways that are efficient to reach people. So the servers, they're protected at hardware level and software level. There are several layers that Boosteroid is protected from attacks. Excellent. So I'm glad you liked the conversation. Our next question, once again, is for Sphinx, talking a little bit about Asus. Asus is both a core gaming brand for gamers with its ROG line, as well as the mainstream brand with products casual players use for gaming. Which group would be fundamental for your gaming strategy?
Tá falhando também. Alô, 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 alô.
Both microphones are having issues.
Alô, 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 alô.
Hello? Can everyone hear me? Is it better now? Should I ask the question again? I'm going to ask again then about Asus. All right, so Asus is a central core gaming brand with its ROG and a mainstream brand with products casual players use for gaming. Which group would be fundamental for your gaming strategy?
No.
No more.
Eu posso deixar
Falando bem alto.
Tá bom.
Speak very loudly. I think all the gaming groups are important for Asus, but the mainstream groups are fundamental for scalability and growth for Asus, for the internal market. The mainstream gamers in the gaming market here in the Brazilian market still like that. I think that by offering more accessible products and with good quality, that's important. And for us to be able to grow a base with loyalty, that's in the beginning for the gamers. So a lot of these players, they like to a more advanced experience. So that's why we have the ROG lines, the Republic of Gamers. It's a more premium line. So I think that we try to understand how to integrate innovations to the market, and we want to complement the gamers' journeys. We want to offer an experience with more accessibility and increasingly more connected with the gamer universe. Excellent, thank you. So everyone, once again, prepare for questions. We're going to open up shortly for questions. So for those who didn't ask last time, be prepared, because I'm going to take it to you guys. Our last question for Vlad: why don't you just use the public cloud and deploy all over the world right away?
Yeah, that's the question I've basically heard many times from many people. But the truth is, like, you do have public cloud, right? That's available all over the world, and you can deploy based on the public cloud and open up in India, Southeast Asia, Brazil, everywhere the next day. The problem that we had, and we discovered it back in 2018, right before we went to ACES, that fixed this problem, was that public cloud is not really high-end enough to support AAA gaming. So if you are targeting something like lower end, casual games, family-friendly games, that could be a good option. If you target AAA games, competitive games, then public cloud just doesn't have instances powerful enough to do that. You cannot stream 4K, you cannot stream high FPS, and another thing is that you don't really have lots of points of presence to the public cloud. At Boosteroid, we have built one of the world's widest GPU-based infrastructure networks. It's literally one of the widest on the planet, and it's much bigger than the one offered by public cloud providers that you all know. And so we had to address the hardware issue directly, and what makes us a good gaming company, I hope you guys agree we are a good gaming company, is that we are a good hardware company, a good data center company. That's kind of the core, one of the most important cores of the business. And that's why we're building our own infrastructure, deploying it in the data centers, and we utilize really great custom solutions for cloud gaming that nobody else on the market is using. It's an ASUS servers. They're based on AMD GPUs and AMD CPUs, and they deliver virtually the best cloud gaming VMs on the market. And that's pretty much it.
Excelente, gente. Ó, vou abrir para perguntas. Vamos lá. Agora é o momento. Quem tem pergunta?
I'm going to open it up for questions. Now is the moment for those of you who have questions here. If you have an individual question, tell us your name and who is it for, or if it's general, if it's for everyone.
But I'll try to speak in English. My first question is specifically for the speed.
Yes.
I'm sorry, my pronunciation is not really good. But you mentioned about the ROG
Premium
product, and currently you have the portable computer Asus ROG Ally.
Okay, yes.
And how do you perceive the ROG Ally with an integration with Boosteroid and other cloud gaming services as well?
I think from ASUS point of view, we are welcome to have more cooperation with Boosteroid. So I think in the near future, it's not only the ROG Ally and about our PC or notebook, and we are able to have some integration with Boosteroid in the future.
And now I have a few questions for Vlad. They're probably going to be a little consumer-related questions. The first one that I have is currently we only have just one server in Latin America right now. It's the Brazilian server, and right now we're suffering a lot of the queue time that we're having, like waiting for 3 to 4 hours. But I think that mostly is due to only having one server in Brazil, in Latin America. So you plan to expand the server to other Latin American countries, like Chile, Uruguay, etc., or I don't know.
Yeah, we definitely going to do that. But first of all, we need to have proper presence in Brazil. We need more services in Paulo, other points of presence. So that's kind of the very first thing that is on our roadmap, to cover Brazil better than we're covering it right now. After that, of course, we have a roadmap for Latin America. Probably one of the first countries that we're looking at are Chile and Colombia, but also, of course, all other markets within Latin America. And the situation in Brazil is, frankly speaking, very exceptional. And what we see in Brazil, we don't really see anywhere else in the world in terms of the customer engagement, in terms of everything, right? How That's why you guys can literally chat with our CEO on Facebook. And I'm pretty sure some of you talk to him more often than I do, because you just drop him a message on Facebook and he responds. Yeah, that's why we stay very close to the customers here in Brazil. But of course, the whole Latin America region, and in the part Juliana also talks about that like emerging markets, emerging economies is a really right place for cloud gaming. So of course we have a plan to expand beyond Brazil, but we should figure out Brazil first.
So, related to that, so you plan to expand to other cities, so top cities in Brazil?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, but do you also plan to have a more diverse marketing plan to Boosteroid Brazil, like I don't know, offering gift cards on local stores, or even having the local currency for subscribing to Boosteroid here in Brazil?
Yeah, we are definitely going to have this, and we work already with some local payment methods. We try to integrate them very soon, so that there is not only the support of the local currency, but also credit card-free payment methods that are super popular in Brazil. And I know that for a big number of customers, it's not convenient to pay by credit card. There are many local ways of how you can pay with cash or prepaid cards, things like that. So we have basically started this already, so we know what we should do, and we're step by step implementing that to make sure it's easier for customers to subscribe.
Pessoal, tem mais alguma pergunta aqui para Steve?
Any more questions? Does anyone else want to ask anything?
Vamos lá.
All right. I want to ask a question to Sphinx from Masters. I want to know if developing consoles with cables and if cloud gaming, or is you just focusing only on cloud gaming? Our roadmap, that is in a roadmap, but we don't have any launches for the car yet. I could think about something for the car though. It's a secret for now. It's in the roadmap, but they can't reveal anything yet. All right. So, a round of applause to everyone here. Thank you for everyone's participation. Thank you, everyone, for their participation. For everyone, please leave the microphone on the table. So, continuing, now we're going to open it up for questions. But now the questions are for the Boosteroid team. The Boosteroid team that we have here, Vlad, who answered a few questions already. We have Olya from the Boosteroid team, for those who want to ask questions. Let me get the detailed summary to make it easier to know what is everyone's role at Boosteroid, and if you want to ask questions. Vlad, like you said, is corporate vice president. Olya is the design director, chief design officer. We also have Maxim, who's around here, but I think he's there in the corner. He's the PR lead. So here, the Boosteroid team, feel free to ask questions to the. Do you want to ask questions to the Boosteroid team? You can come over here, you as well, Maxime.
Question for Boosteroid team, okay? Let's get the mic. Vamos lá, gente. Ó, específico para time Boosteroid, como eu falei para vocês.
Specific for the Boosteroid team, like I told you, you have the opportunity so you can ask to each of them. Let me take the microphone here. Excuse me, please.
Let's not the volume. I have a low speaker. Hello, my name is Let's Start. I'm watching the YouTube channel. Let's Start Games. Sorry. My question is simple. Do you have any intentions or have any projections to adapt the currency of the subscription in Brazil from euro? I believe it's euro still, right? To be around the Brazilian real. So,
yeah, definitely, that's the plan. And the thing is that kind of we launched because there was a great need for us and for Brazilian customers that Boosteroid is available here. And there are certain things that we still keep localizing, like the currency, right? And definitely we will have the local Brazilian currency here, and we're working on that support already. It's still euro, right? Like we have globally, except for the United States where we have dollar. But the plan is definitely to have the local currency.
Did you all hear that? They have the platform, it's in euro for now, but they have the intention of having it done in the local currency, reais or local currency. So let's go to another question. Let me see here. I have two questions actually. There's a really cool partnership with Xbox and Microsoft. What are your plans to develop apps for consoles? Because there are a lot of games that use the browser service. And the second question is about subscription plans that you have. Do you have plans of creating like a double subscription, like two people paying for a single subscription or something like that?
Yeah, definitely we have a great partnership with Microsoft, and we're very excited to bring all those nice games to Boosteroid. And regarding the app for console, we are currently, like, the plan is to stay in the PC gaming realm, right? But we understand that there is the demand for console gamers to kind of use cloud gaming as well. And I believe that currently we even have specs, the hardware specs behind Boosteroid virtual machines that exceed the performance of the hardware that is behind Xbox consoles, right? Yeah, this may happen in the future, but to be honest, it's not happening right now. And regarding like the shared subscription, right, that you can share with somebody, yeah, we explore things like that because, you know, on Netflix you can have up to, I don't know how many, 3-5 profiles. So that's kind of the custom thing for VOD, for streaming, right? And we're thinking about that. we're just like, we've been around for like 6 or 7 years, right? So we're a relatively young service. We're still exploring what should we do with, subscriptions, payments, and things like that. How do we engage with the people in the best way possible? So that's definitely being discussed, the shared subscription plan.
Good night. My name is Gabriel. I'm going to ask in English because I think it's better.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Nowadays, there are many cloud gaming services available. As a gamer, for me, the Boosteroid has changed much of my gaming routine. I have both a console, but I also have a computer, and having the opportunity to play games that my computer cannot support. Thank you. It's incredible for me. But from now on, what Boosteroid sees as the future for cloud gaming? Like, what's the next step? For us here in Brazil, it's very incredible to have a cloud gaming that's accessible and that we can use with relative stability. But I got curious to think, what's the next step? I saw the updates like the streaming, but what's the next? What's the roadmap for Boosteroid in Brazil and the whole world?
That's a great question. Basically, the roadmap is that, what's happening now with video games and cloud gaming is exactly the same that has already happened with movies and music, right? Some music. Thank you. Yeah, should be working. Oh, awesome. Yeah. So basically, what has already happened with movies and music, right? The transition to streaming. This is now happening with video games, and just how we watch Netflix and listen to Spotify. This is the way people are going to consume video gaming content in the near future, and that's basically this strategic idea defines the roadmap that we have. So we need to be able to serve every single gamer. Like there is the statistics that we have 3 billion gamers on the planet, people who play at least 2 times per week, and you need to be able to serve 3 billion people, right? That's quite a lot, and that's why we prioritize the infrastructure expansion and kind of making the solution that is both for sophisticated players and casual players, dummies like me, that play, I don't know, once a month, right? And that do not need super great latency numbers and things like that. So it should be both very suitable for the sophisticated player in terms of the quality and the overall performance, but it also should be easy enough for casual gamers and even non-gamers to start using it. So that's kind of the roadmap, that's the plan. To be everywhere physically with our servers, and also to have the service interface ecosystem that is suitable for every type of the customer, every type of the player.
I would like to add a little bit. I am a gamer. I'm a big time gamer. Like hundreds and thousands of hours gaming. And I'm still using Boosteroid, even though I have a gaming PC, because it saves me in my trips. I need to move around a lot. I travel a lot, and it saves me. So I am a primary user of our service. which is why we always have a lot of new ideas. Right now, we currently have new ideas for improvement of our service that are going like 2-3 years in production.
This one.
The only thing I can say, well, I can't disclose. well, I can't. But we're working a lot, hoping to improve our service because this is our love child. Because we are gamers making a product for gamers.
This one is working. You can run this one.
Hi, I'm Lucas. I work with the YouTube channel Comunidade. What's up here? And I want to know what the biggest challenge is regarding the marketing plan. Something I can help with. So regarding the marketing plan, what's the biggest challenge here in Brazil?
The biggest challenge, I would say, hi guys. The biggest challenge I would say is that our team is from Ukraine. That's Europe. I'm not like I'm implying that we're a European, Eastern European. We'll have this upbringing, so we can understand a British person. Like we have some connections. We talk to them. You know, we have trades, stuff like that. Italians, even Americans, because you know we'll learn English. We watch the American movies and stuff like that. With Brazil, maybe some soap operas from my childhood or something like that. So whenever I like write a message on Facebook group or whatever, for example, like I wrote "Hola amigos," something like that, and I'm thinking, will it be okay to say in this particular case "Hola amigos"? Will they think that I'm too familiar or I'm too close, or is it just okay? So that I would say that's the biggest challenge, and that's one of the reasons we're here. Where I can look into your eyes, you can tell me something like how friendly you are to me, because you can be. There are many kinds of friendly. Like you can be reserved, you can be open. Some people here hug me. Like it was surprising to me. I was happy about it, but it was surprising. So the challenge is to navigate those. You know, don't be weird in that way. So yeah.
We're trying our best to understand you.
Okay. Okay. Hi, my name is Claudio.
Hi.
But I'm talking Portuguese, okay? Vamos lá. Pensando no lançamento agora do preço do Nintendo Switch, já
The
prospectando.
launch of the Nintendo Switch and looking at the next generation of consoles.
Pensando na próxima geração de consoles, depois do PlayStation 5 e Xbox Series, o preço realmente é pouco
The price is a little pricey for emerging markets like Brazil. And Boosteroid currently is a very viable option for you to play with as a main console in your TV, or regardless of what it is. What do you guys think about what's going to be up in 2 years in regards to growth markets? What do you guys think for the next 2 years in the next generation of consoles in regards to the marketing growth, the market share growth that you'll have in 2 years?
Do you think about the next generation in the next 2 years? Next 2 years, this new growth market. So it's 2 questions.
I don't want to say that, but you know, Yeah, I don't really want to say that out loud, but this is kind of the way we see the market, and many of our partners, including some of the companies that run console business. Consoles are not here to stay in the long term, and like we have here our panelists from LG, from Vita, right? So you can play on the TV console free right now, and you can use Boosteroid, you can use Xbox, but not a console, right? Cloud gaming. So even companies like Microsoft, right? They are one of the biggest console market players, but they still invest in cloud gaming on the TVs. Renato has just said that they partnered with LG. We have partnered with LG a few years back. So sooner or later, there will be no need for you to buy a bulky, expensive console and upgrade it all the time, because you will buy the LG TV, the VOS-based TV, Hisense, or any other brand, Samsung TV, and you will be able to access thousands of titles, way more than you have on the console, and the quality will be the same or even better. And that's why, in terms of the new generation of consoles, of course it's too early to say that they're dead. They're not dead. They're very big, they're huge, right? But what we will see strategically is that they will decline. And it's specifically also interesting to us to understand what will happen with the next generation, what will be the reception, right? Will they grow, or will they see their decline? All those things that will be happening on the market, we will be monitoring just out of curiosity, and also because that's our business. And that's a nice question. Strategically, I think cloud gaming is the new console. You can use it everywhere. It's cheaper. You don't have to upgrade it. We upgrade our servers, not you, right? And
It's our main task to help users stop overbuying new devices and start using what you have to have more. So it's not like we're wishing for consoles to die now. No, of course not. But like we can see the future in using more common devices. Gaming, and some devices you maybe never thought to use for gaming.
Boa noite, meu nome é João Lucas. Minha pergunta é o
Good evening, my
seguinte:
name is Jean Lucas. My question is, there were a few gamers, I think, that have been facing a problem that when we play through Steam, there's some games aren't compatible. Maybe can Boosteroid resolve that?
Yeah, I see problems. Yeah. They say when they play some games, there is no compatibility with the control.
Quer que eu repita? Por favor. A certo momento que eu estava jogando na
At some
Boosteroid,
point where I was playing on Boosteroid, I connected through Steam, and in some games that don't have compatibility with the controls, and we need a certain way to achieve compatibility, because
sometimes they don't have the keyboards. No, keyboards, and they need some games that have no compatibility with the console. Boosteroid has some way to fix that.
Yes. So we do have some games that you cannot play with the gamepad because this is not supported by the game developer. That's first.
Ok. Está falando que alguns desses games não têm a compatibilidade que não é suportado pelo desenvolvedor.
Now you're probably referring to the games where you can use the controller, but it's not working on Boosteroid. There are several reasons for that. And first of all, we do have the compatibility, like the best compatibility with Xbox controller, with PlayStation controller, right? On top of that, we support many other controllers, but if you use Xbox and PlayStation, you're less likely to have issues. That's second.
Ele falou PlayStation e Xbox, ele tem problemas.
He said that his problem is actually PlayStation next and Xbox.
The best way to get rid of the problem is tell us about the problem, and then if there is something, we will address it. So, yeah, so conduct support services. You can write to me. Everyone has my email, by the way, right now. So, yeah, there is no problem that we do not see or like we ignore. Some things need time to get fleshed out, but eventually everything gets fixed.
É que não é questão de um erro ou de um problema, é questão de a gente fazer uma pergunta para ver se a gente quer saber
It's a
se
matter
vocês
of asking a questions, of having an emulator that converts the commands and the controls.
Change the when you use the keyboard, you can use the keyboard instead of the console.
If I got the question right, you can use mouse and keyboard while playing on TVs instead of your controller.
Yeah.
This is supported with Android TVs. So this is unfortunately not yet supported on Samsung and LG TVs. But if you have an Android TV, then you can connect mouse and keyboard and play with mouse and keyboard instead of the gamepad.
O problema aí é a TV, né?
Como é que você deixou claro também que o e-mail dele está à disposição? Você pode falar
He made it very clear that his email is available and you can speak to him directly, and he'll work on your problem specifically, and he'll bring any solutions necessary in order to help you. I think that makes it easier. I don't know if you have his email. He says his email is available for everyone, so he'll try to help and solve that as needed. All right?
He will send you an email, and then you can work together to understand the issue and fix it.
Or feel free to contact our support service because our guys are incredibly caring, fast, and happy to help you. Like you can tell them the game you're playing, the device you're playing on. But right now we're guessing, and there are people that can help you make the right way. So please contact our guys.
Excelente. Quem mais tem pergunta? Aqui, por favor.
Hello there, my name is Yanis, and I can say I'm really proud of knowing you, of meeting you here. I can say, by behalf of Brazilian people, that we are very proud of having this outstanding quality of systems that are bringing to us. This is an outstanding services, so I'd like to thank you for that. We really love you, and we expect you to love us as well.
Thank you for your kindness.
We are really grateful for that. I have two questions. One is more related to the services, and another more for Hyper. The one related to the services is, since we live in a country that has more than 200 million people, and you are going to expand your services really well, and we hope for that. Are you planning to build a Brazilian support team here in Brazil, so you can cope with the players here in Brazil? And with this question, are you hoping to expand to another cities here in Brazil, for instance, in the Northeast or in the South? So that's the first question. You want to answer that?
Yeah, thanks for the questions. And it definitely makes sense. And we are thinking about that, about the multi-support system and people. And it's just more efficient because our guys are mainly sitting in Ukraine, and of course they have night shifts, and you can write them right now, they will respond, right? But of course, having local people speaking Portuguese, right? Being available at all the time that you need them is better. This is not something we have yet, so no region has the local support team. It's not in the States, it's not in Europe, it's not anywhere. We have a centralized support, but as we grow also as a company, because right now we have something 120 people in Boosteroid, so it's not a lot. And I think Mercedes has more people working on in-car gaming than we have in our entire company. So definitely as we grow and as we get more local in Brazil, we will have a local support team. And we're even like, we're testing this in some regions, not the support team that you can contact through the support chat, but people that can respond to you in like on social media or wherever, like community managers, things like that.
Sorry for interrupting, but I would like to quick thanks to people helping us. Like we have people helping us to translate, to organize this event, and like this we have people just willing to help on Reddit or other socials. So I hope we're going to grow, and I hope we're going to make a better service local for residents.
For your success, because your success is our success as well. Just another question is more hyper related. I love simulation games, like driving games and racing games. And I feel that the cloud services, they are not looking for these kind of people, because whenever I text all of other cloud services, not just you, I feel that it's not on the plans to adapt for the driving wheels, for example, because there are a lot of people that love simulation games. There are even championships and stuff like that. So, do you have any plans of bringing driving wheels or flying or the flying simulators?
Well, I have a few friends who like those simulation games as well, and they often ask me that question, like, okay, when? And the answer is someday, yes. The idea here is, so when you want to do something, you need to do that right. To do that right, so we're focusing right now on partnerships like TVs, some infrastructure and stuff like that. At some point, we will start partnering with companies that do that, because it's just to start doing that, we would need probably triple our staff just to start working on that by ourselves. So we need partners to work on that, and even working with partners, we have one here, and so there's so much less time in a year, and he has been doing those amazing partnerships that we had, and now we need to do that as well. We will eventually do that. It's inevitable. Just because people ask us, and we usually do what people ask us. But yeah.
Don't stop pushing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just push and yeah, it will happen. All right. We do not. We do not resist the push. So we just
We're pushing.
Just one thing. This is actually related to another thing, the VR games support, right? And this comes down to both like the steering wheel and any other gaming stuff that is not mouse and keyboard, not the controller. It comes down to integrating this into the virtual machine, which is a remote cloud-based PC where the game is actually running. And this is not trivial, right? This has some technical things that, as Max said, should be resolved together with the manufacturer of that equipment. So it's definitely like we, of course, people like not every gamer uses this, right? But this is not the reason why we don't have this, right? So the reason we don't have this is just because it needs time, right? But we understand that even like for that part of customers that use all these things, for like real like VR headsets and so on, this will be a very good opportunity to use Boosteroid. So we definitely work in this direction.
All right. Thank you very much, folks. Brazil loves it.
Thanks. Oh, sorry.
Good night. This is Gustavo. Thank you guys for being here. I have two questions. I have Apple TV. We have an idea for sport. And the people right there in the chat spoke about our servers in Brazil. And the HGT, HDR is our sport. And I think it's two questions. Apple TV support, HDR, and power servers in Brazil.
Apple TV. Yeah. Apple TV. Well, we have the application for Mac, and we have both for Mac on Intel CPU and on M1 CPU. So I think it should run on Apple TV, right? You can try it. You can, if you can get the Mac app, Mac Boosteroid app on your Apple TV, this should be working. But speaking about the official support, we should be then in the App Store, right? And you should be able to download Boosteroid from the App Store on your Apple TV and play. And this will be a great thing to have, right? And there are many Apple TV customers that would love it. And we can literally turn Apple TV into the best gaming console, right? By integrating it with Boosteroid. I'm gonna stop here. And let's hope it will happen sooner than later. But I think it will happen anyway.
Windows Mount or next?
Oh, no.
So our technical team is working in HDR. That's what I can tell right now. I recently talked. We recently had the talk. I had a talk with our main technical guy about HDR. It is coming. All I can say right now.
Okay, but unlike Apple TV, HDR is coming really soon, so it's probably a matter of weeks or months next week. And new servers, yes, so we're adding a little bit more capacity right now. I think they have been already deployed. So hopefully the queues are a little bit less now, maybe not. But we have some additional servers that were deployed like last week or this week. And on top of that, we're adding more capacity that will eliminate the queues. We hope so, like completely. And this should happen probably in a few months. The equipment is ready, but it's still on the factory of the manufacturer. We need to get it to Brazil and things like that. So it will probably take like a month or two. But after that, we hope that there will be no queues. And of course, we're not going to stop there. It's just the short-term roadmap, but we will be expanding in Brazil all the way through 2025 and 2026.
Can I add, because we've shared this on Facebook, so we've already added some capacity. More capacity will be added within like weeks. It will at most address the queues and like there will be queues maybe probably during the evenings, when everyone's playing. But there will be less, and there will be times without queues finally. Yeah, and in a few months, all queues should disappear unless like we get like again the triples the amount of the players we have. Yeah. Yeah, if 2 million players come, the queues will persist, but for now it should go.
If you tell 10 of your friends about us, then we might be in trouble again with the queues. So let's keep it secret. If you tell 5 of your friends about us, that's going to be okay. Please do that.
Thanks. And the last question is about TV. Samsung TV has support for controllers, and a few people here in chat spoke about the no vibration or no ping vibration. Can you spoke
on Samsung TV, right?
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, many things can happen. It's always best to contact the support team because they have kind of the database of all the issues that have been arising since a very long time ago, so they can assist with that promptly. But the problem may be with the internet connection, with the gamepad, with the connection between the gamepad and the TV. The problem may be with the TV, and finally the problem may be with Boosteroid. You never know. So it's best to contact the support team and they will figure it out.
Thank you, guys. Brazil.
Thank you.
Thank you. Eu vou fazer em português porque meu inglês está bem.
I'll do it in English because I'll do it in Portuguese. I have 2 questions. Does Boosteroid intend to do their own control pad? I think control, not console.
Controller, not console.
Like as if in Xbox or PlayStation, but a Boosteroid one, a game controller that your own proprietary game controller.
So there are companies that already have very cool controllers, and I hope we will partner with them and we'll have the Boosteroid edition of that controller. So
yeah, so like Google Stadia, for example, they release their own controller, right? We're not going to do that. I mean, the Google Stadia controller is a very good controller, right? We have the support of Google Stadia controller on Boosteroid, so if you happen to have it, you can use it on Boosteroid. It's a nice controller. We kind of, for us, the focus is that people can use the controllers they already have. And we try to make the service more compatible with the controllers that are already out there. And that's why, at least for today, we don't have a plan to make our own controller.
Our main thing is not creating more things to buy, and our controlling would diminish this task. We would like to use what users have.
My question is if you intend to launch more Boosteroid services in more states. So other than the server here in São Paulo, we know that there are more servers coming, but do you intend to amplify that towards other places in Brazil, or do you have states planned already? Because we know that in the United States there are several servers spread out, in Europe several servers spread out. Do you intend to do that here in Brazil as well, or do you plan to focus just here in São Paulo?
Different locations too, of course. Because
outside São Paulo. In Brazil,
Brazil, we have 27 states, so it's a huge country.
Yeah, sure.
So just to have a server here at São Paulo, the latency would be.
Yeah. I mean, we've touched upon that a few times. Of course, we plan to expand both here in São Paulo and in other places across Brazil, and then in other places across Latam, like Chile, like Colombia, and other markets. So, yeah, it will take time, but we will be there. And I'd like to give a shout out to Latitude here. I hope we'll be fortunate to find more Latitude around Brazil, because around the world. Yeah.
I think he's not from São Paulo, so that's why he's
from. Please follow HEDÃO if you want to watch the servers in Brazil. He has a video from there, so yeah. Thank you to Victor here for organizing that. So yeah, there is a video of our servers in Brazil that you can watch on YouTube.
Thank you so much. Boosteroid is a best outlet forever.
Thanks.
Mais perguntas?
Any more questions? Please rise when you ask the questions. Good evening. The question would be about virtual machines in Boosteroid. For example, FIFA. It's impossible to use Boosteroid because.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know what?
Deixa eu perguntar para ele. As empresas some companies block virtual machines,
right?
And they want to know if you have something that can help with that, because it happens with him playing FIFA, and he wants to know if Boosteroid has something that can fix this.
Yeah, there is the overall problem is that some games are built in a way that does not support cloud gaming, right? So there are multiple issues that may arise when you play them. Not mentioning individual titles, just generally, yeah, this may happen. And we're working with many game publishers and game developers to make sure that the game is compatible with the cloud-based environment. And we had several really great cases where this helped us, because the core issue that the anti-cheat system sometimes sees the VM and does not like the fact that the game is running on the VM, right? And then the VM gets blocked. So we have a few cases with several big publishers where we fix this, and it's no longer the issue. And of course we address, on a case-by-case basis every single situation like that. And hopefully in the very near future, everything will be more seamless with those games that currently may have certain issues.
Perguntas aqui?
Já temos o microfone ali.
Claro, vai lá.
Vamos trocar?
My question, sorry, I don't speak English, but my question is that nowadays we were talking about, new launches and quality and so forth. So my question is about the positive scenario. What is the Boosteroid's vision about that? Because nowadays we see that cloud gaming is the future, because the setups are becoming increasingly expensive, and the Brazilian community of gamers
visão de Boosteroid para a melhoria de ping, de latência e também no cenário competitivo.
They like competitive games. So what is the Boosteroid's vision for ping and latency and also competitive games?
Even the gamers like this competitive scenario here, and she's asking about how Boosteroid is going to address this scenario competitive in Brazil, improving ping, improving latency. I think it's not different from the other questions, but improving ping, improving latency, that in this competitive scenario, they can you can have all the support they need to play in this three-way community. We always try to improve, we try to do our best, and well, Boosteroid think about that.
So it's a very complex question, and it has like many moving parts. We are improving the backend. That's like the thing that you don't see but you can feel how it feels and how it plays. We're obviously working on making more there to be more servers and more spread out, so that you have lower ping. But it's always going to be like, what's the next best thing that we can do? So like, okay, we'll lower the ping one more millisecond, then we lower one more millisecond. Okay, here we can cut off on some input lines. So stuff like that, and that will always be happening. So like when Boosteroid is 90, 150 years old, our children's children will be probably working at Boosteroid, will be thinking, how else can we like lower the ping? So it will always be happening. It will be much better than now, and still we'll be thinking all the time.
Stay here and still answering questions, but the restaurants.
Só para lembrar vocês, tá, que ele está deixando
Guys, just
claro
to remember everyone and to make it clear, we're getting to the final part of the event. We can stay around after 10 o'clock, but the service will be shut down at 10 o'clock precisely. So for those of you, so for everyone to be aware of that, at 10 o'clock the restaurant will service, but we can continue talking to them after that, and we'll continue providing questions. All right. All right. I'm gonna leave it here.
Okay. Hey everyone, good evening. I'm David. I'm really glad you guys were well received here in Brazil. You guys deserve that. Thanks so much for bringing this service here to our country. We really needed that. So I think many people here are asking you guys about technical issues, about technical questions. I'd like to do something a little bit different. I'd like to ask you guys about the marketing. In my opinion, you guys are the next are the next PlayStation, are the next. You are a big tech company in the moment. You know that, and I'd like to know, how are we promoting Boosteroid? For example, how a small retail, I have a small store, for example. How do I sell Boosteroid? How do I? We have plans to bring gift cards to Brazil, for example. Okay, this is the first question to small retailers like mine, and also I'd like to know about hosting events. Like this one is an event to people, to you.
Thank you very much. So I'd like to know, how are we going to promote Boosteroid to? Are we hosting events? For example, I think companies will try to contact you. For example, Brazilian carriers, internet carriers. So do you have plans to work with these carriers? For example, hosting tournaments or creating plans with within the internet plans? You know, do you have this kind of marketing plan? I'd like to know that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll jump on the tournaments part of the question because I have some background in esports. Some people, by the way, came to me and said that, hey, I know you're from Replay. But the issue here when we're talking about like cloud gaming and tournaments, when you do a tournament in game, you mostly promote the game. You don't promote like the service. So if the service runs great, everyone thinks, okay, it's a great game. If something goes well, they don't think about the game. So it will be great with Boosteroid, I'm sure, but like we will be promoting games, and that goes to marketing in general. Like anything, most of the things we do, that's promoting someone else. So so there are, by the way, representatives of gaming development industry. So we will be happy to work with you and promote you, and hopefully you will help promote us as well. So that's that part of the question. With the events, that's not just about promoting here, because as I explained, we need to have some eye contact, you know, the emotional feel. That's why essentially we game. And when it's all fleshed out, we need to do many things, and promotion is besides them. Because if we have a great service, we have clients. We have for great service, we need to do great partnerships, like with Latitude and Victor. So we have partnership. Latitude did some stuff that helped promote us as well. So it's all very complicated, and it's all about partnership and not thinking about zero-sum games. So because I mean, it's not just about promoting us; it's we promoting someone else, someone else's game. And if you want to promote us, you also promote us. So that's how it works with promoting cloud gaming in general. You see, like some other cloud gaming Thursday, you know, like I don't. Yeah. So they are about other games. They're not about that service. So it's just, you know, like the same with us. Yeah. It's about doing something with someone, and then we get away.
You know what? One thing about esports, just imagine that like every single gamer can be an esports player, right? And the skill wins, and that's what cloud gaming can bring to you. I know like esports is also about building a gaming PC, investing your money and effort into like the gaming machine, but that's great. But if you want to bring it like to the massive adoption, just imagine like you have Boosteroid, right? And everybody, regardless of how weak their PC is, they can play and compete with others. So we think that cloud gaming has very good potential in the view of like esports for dummies, right? So everybody can be an esports player, right? Because the VM specs are the same, right? And you can use the $200 computer and play against somebody who's using $2,000 computer, and you will have the same, you know, virtual machine running the game. So that's an interesting thing we're exploring. And in terms of marketing, like we have very huge organic growth, so we don't really need marketing. And if we do marketing, we will be overwhelmed, like we are overwhelmed in Brazil in terms of the influx of customers. But we have no marketing here. But if we do marketing, we will have Brazilian situation, Europe, North America, everywhere, because the organic growth is really huge. That's why we do have all these things, like we talk to telcos. We understand that we can bundle this with connectivity plans. We understand that we can bundle this with VOD services, where you can play or like watch a movie and then play a related game right away through the VOD service, right? Like watching Indiana Jones and playing Indiana Jones on the same platform. So we have all this marketing in development, in discussion,
but we just, you know, the main thing is to have more servers everywhere across the globe. Yeah.
Maybe some good questions from online. Some questions from online because the other guy and me. Okay, I promise that we will also have some online questions. Okay, yeah, please.
So, with the rise of artificial intelligence on the market, does Boosteroid have plans to integrate AI-driven features to enhance the player experience, such as personalized recommendations or real-time performance optimization? We have this kind of plans.
So yes, but no details so far. Nothing we can make. You know. Yes. We're waiting for the new architecture that will be very good with AI. I hope we can. I didn't open any secrets that the next generation of hardware release will be good with the AI, and some great stuff should come with that.
And we wait for the game developers to integrate AI into games, and we will support these games because what we can do with AI is it's pretty limited, right? But when it comes to AI application, the gaming, it's interesting how game developers implement AI stuff in the games, like with NPCs, with game mechanics, with all that kind of stuff.
Just a question from Zoom. Question from Zoom. Will Boosteroid add California service from latitude SH?
Shout out to Raymond from Cloud Gaming Battle.
Серверов в Калифорнии оплатить это.
I mean, we have the plan to deploy in California for a long time. The US guys sneaked into the Zoom chat, right? Of course, California is a little blind spot now, so we do need servers there, and we'll be there. Where they are there, right? Hi. We're coming for you.
For the last question, I really quick, but there's a term in the market streaming thing that's called Inscreva-se. I don't know if you were related to that. Do you know that word? Inscreva-se. It's the act of when a streaming thing develops in the long term, but starting to get more shitty than the word shit. And there's the Inscreva-se, that's the word. And how do you, as a Boosteroid company, see as the future of the Boosteroid? If there's probably, and I guess there will be some little Inscreva-se, but how do you perceive that? That's not exactly a strategy, but it's the kind of thing that we are having in our streaming market. So Netflix are Inscreva-cated because the prices are going up. The services are going to have a more limited experience to the customers. So how does Boosteroid perceive that? I'm sorry if that offends you at all, and I hope that don't. But that's a more business.
Definitely not the most offensive thing I've ever heard. So it's all right.
I mean, it's not offensive because, as I feel it, certification happens to big companies. When the company gets lazy, because at first you're a small company, you're working on your goal, you have a team that believes in your goal and tries to grow and make better product. And then some companies, like big gaming companies, when they achieve certain level, certain very high level, sometimes I save money overweight the birth and the vision. So Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of big companies are getting lazy over time, and they lose respect for the consumers. They lose respect to gamers. And I really hope for a long time we're not gonna get to the level of not caring about you, about our customers.
We're not gonna get shitty.
As a GeForce now parallel, I forgot the word in English, fuck out the gaming. Yeah, it's a little slap on the GeForce now.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. Does Boosteroid have plans to open a studio to develop your own game?
That's a nice question. We would love to make games sometime. The thing is that we are not game developers, so none of us actually develop games. But we would love to hire a bunch of people that do that and to have like exclusive content. This is not. I mean, we do not center the strategy around that. It's not very important, but it would be nice to have.
It's like a little dream. We've been talking about it. We've been a little dreaming about it. We've been understanding that we have a great infrastructure to maybe implement some amazing game.
To make a Boosteroid simulator, the Boosteroid.
So it's just a dream at the moment.
Vocês têm planos de expandir a taxa de quadros que atualmente
Do you have plans to expanding currently? Do you have plans to expand that?
Now it's 120 FPS.
Yeah, we have around 60 FPS at 4K 120 and
Nós temos 60 FPS, 4K 120 e a gente com resolução Full HD a gente vai melhorar isso e a gente vai adicionar 4K 120 FPS. Então, entretanto, nem todos os clientes podem apoiar isso nos seus próprios, quando eles fazem isso nos seus PCs, porque quanto mais FPS você tem, mais carga você tem. Então, 4K, 1K FPS, talvez 2% recebem isso. Nós estamos... Nosso alvo são jogadores sofisticados e gamers hardcore. A gente precisa disso, a gente precisa de mais FPS.
Boa noite. Eu me chamo
Good
Nicolas.
evening. My name is Nicholas.
Eu tenho uma pergunta bem simples. Eu queria
I
saber...
have a very simple question. I want to know why the name of the company, Boosteroid. I want to know where that came from, that name.
When this name came from.
It's our dream on the stars, let's say, like asteroid. It's expansion in the space. So it's, I'd say, Ivan, our leader, our CEO, is a big fan of space. Maybe he was this first thought that pushed this creation of the name of the company. So it's our love for the space, we love the space.
Excellent.
Very new. So, alright, first, my name is Victor, and welcome to Brazil.
Thank you.
I'm a rich cloud consumer, and I have the opportunity to play some games that my Xbox One S can run. The first question is, you have total support for Epic Games?
the final question is, I have an issue that my game is always in English. There's a plan for localizing these games or of export to other games. Hey guys, I love the novel. And welcome to Brazil.
The question is tricky. The answer is eventually it will happen. We already do all we can, but the idea is that the games. So it very much depends on the publisher and the developer. So if the game can be the localization can be changed during the session, it can be changed. If it can be saved, it's saved. But it's tricky because we need to change how the game works, and that's kind of the thing that we are not doing, because we just let you run the game. And if the game has the basic image in certain language, there's not much we can do. So eventually it will happen because we're working with the developers. For example, developers here, and hopefully we'll be working with you guys. But we do all we can. That's what I'll answer.
Excelente. Quem está com o microfone? Mais perguntas? Aqui primeiro.
Excellent. Those who have the microphone, any more questions?
My name is Amy. I have a question. Do you have plans to collaborate with Brazilian creators to introduce Boosteroid to our community?
Brazilian creators. Well, we actually are already working, so if you want to work with us as a creator, let's talk what we can do.
Yeah, because for us, like, we don't have many partnerships with the creators actually, but we have some, and it's a great value because they can bring us right to the customer, and we can share things through them with the customers, and like the whole communication, with the community gets much better. So that's why we don't have many cases, but we love all the cases that we have, and we'll definitely have more in the near future.
And again, shout out to Bob Gaming Battle. You guys are watching us, I guess.
Hello again. I have two questions actually. The first is, are there plans for integration of mobile controllers? Those that you can connect to your cell phone. You use the cell phone as a mobile screen to play your games. And the second question, nowadays the Boosteroid has support for some strategy games. I would like to know if there are plans to integrate more turn-based strategy games, real-time strategy games, if there is any plans, or if we can continue using the wish list from Red.
So I use not use Red this month, but I use mobile controllers as well. And if something were to go wrong, I will go to our tech guys. What's up? On the other hand, if something doesn't work with your controller, your particular controller, you should tell us, because the controller could get like an upgrade, we didn't get a notification, and something may break. The best course of action, you tell us, and we then can quickly fix it. That's one thing. The other thing, I'm a fan also of turn-based games. That's why I jumped on the answer your questions. I used to play Heroes of Might and Magic, some tactical games like Monster Train and Darkest Dungeon. And when a big game comes out or a big update comes out, I usually someone on the team says, for those kinds of games, I say, hey guys, a good game, like let's add a different game, and we usually add. And again, if you have a game that you want, just come to our Reddit, to Facebook, to everywhere, and tell us. Usually when you tell us to add the game, we try to add the game. If it's not like, if you tell us to add the game, we haven't added the game, there is a particular reason, we can't always explain why, but we usually, that's after we have made an attempt. So just come to us and tell us.
You know, speaking about strategy games, we even have disciples of 1990 something. We have it on Boosteroid, so okay, you can check it out.
Gente, agora vai ser a última pergunta.
Now it's the last question. Does anyone have the microphone already?
Okay, hello guys, I'm Mariana, I'm a journalist. So it's a more personal question. So do you believe that cloud gaming is a way to improve accessibility for people with disabilities to play games?
So it's not, cloud gaming is a way to improve accessibility to everyone. So it's not like targeted at people with disabilities. But for example, so most people with disabilities use the controllers that your computer thinks is a normal Xbox One or 360 controller, and we support it. And if there are other ways we could help people who have some special requirements, again, let us know. We do not resist. If it can be implemented, we will implement it.
Yeah, there is the whole thing about making games more accessible to people with disabilities, and Microsoft is doing a lot in this regard. They are designing the custom controllers depending on what disability people have, so that it's easier for them to use the controller. And there's definitely a lot to improve here. And I think we will collaborate with many other companies that are already doing something, like Microsoft and these controllers. And that's really great stuff.
And I would like to add, because it's been said already a couple of times, but please come to us and tell us what you want. We would like to give you the experience that you want. We would like to make everyone happy. You can't make everyone happy, but we are trying. So we are trying really in our conditions that we have in Ukraine, unfortunately. But we are trying. We really want to hear your opinions. If there's some feature that you want, please tell us. If you can think about some way we can in our interface use the needs that we have to help people with disabilities, please tell us. We would like to improve. Thanks.
Gente, uma salva de palmas.
Everyone, please give a round of applause.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Só lembrando, a gente encerra as perguntas aqui, mas fiquem à vontade. Feel free to.
We're finishing, but feel free to stay with them. Feel free to hang around to talk to them.
Então fiquem à vontade aqui para conversar com eles nesse momento.
So feel free to stick around and talk to them at this moment. And we thank everyone for the opportunity that you gave us. Whether you're a gamer, you're an industry professional, creator, we're grateful for your presence here at this great event. Special thanks to the team here who participated in the panels. Thanks everyone, to each of you as well. And your experience here, you're in the industry, and everything that Boosteroid is doing for us here in Brazil and there. And this has been our first encounter. We couldn't have asked for a better group. This group is great. So thank to for each of you. Thank you, Boosteroid, for the opportunity to be participating in this party, despite not being a gamer. But certainly from now on, I'll go out into this gamer adventure with each and every one of you. So thank you so much, Boosteroid. Hashtag Boosteroid 2025, Boosteroid Brazil. For those who haven't taken a picture, don't forget to do so and tag Boosteroid and register this experience that they prepared with so much care. All right, so let's speak very loudly for them to feel welcome here in Brazil. Repeat with me, everyone. Boosteroid. Boosteroid. Thank you.
Excellent.
Now, yeah. Okay, thank you. We can practice. Like you can start.
Aqui, ó. Are you?
So right with that.
¿Quieres?
Vem pro Habib's. O concorrente fica nessa palhaçada. Um sanduichinho só. Big é esse rodízio aqui. Bibis Firra à vontade e sobremesa infinita. Rodízio de Bibis Firra a partir de R$ 29,90. Lá é um só. Aqui são quantas Bibis Firras você quiser.